Rod Johnson versus Red Knight. We can see it is a Odd Warrior versus a Shutterwalk Shaman, and this is the combo turn. We've brought you right into this game. Unfortunately for Rod Johnson, he wasn't quite able to apply enough pressure to push enough damage through, but the Shutterwalk Shaman didn't actually bounce any Shutterwalks. So
yeah, the order of the battle cries really mattered there, and he didn't get any Shutterwalks in hand. It looks like Rod Johnson doesn't have a way to kill both of them, but
he might get
that's
one.
it.
Oh no, he's used all 3 rush minions from his deck this game, so he's not able to kill both of them. But Red Knight doesn't have a way to bounce them, so it's certainly possible that he finds a way.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I don't think Red Knight wants to be drawing cards. I mean, this game was completely turned on its head here.
Yeah, this is very interesting. The Share Knight Chain Gang does protect the Shutterwalk from attacks, but it doesn't protect it from brawl. So this is really interesting that he chose to push forward a wider board rather than you know, like giving a Shutterwalk Wind Fury or something like that. So I think giving the Shutterwalk Wind Fury and then casting Lava Burst is the win here. But it looks like he's just going to clear the board instead. I didn't do the math. Tim, did you do the math that quickly?
I did not.
12 plus 10 plus 5? Yeah. It was not enough. I was off. My apologies to the audience. It was close, though. It was very close.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with the decision to cast Lava Burst on the minion there.
Yeah, especially because you had Hex in your hand, you know?
Yeah, you need to. If he hadn't done that, he would. He could have been. He could have Wind Fury now. He could have Lava Bursted.
I think Wind Furying here and then attacking for 12 and then casting Hex. That's the play that I'd be rooting for. You've got Avalanche to deal with the Frog token. So that's what I'd be looking to do here. But he's just going to attack with the Shutterwalk, it looks like. He unfortunately didn't get what he was looking for off of the Hagatha from the Sandbinder? Sandbinder, yeah. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. I'm honestly surprised this game turned out this way.
Yeah, this was some very interesting play from both sides for sure. And unfortunately for Rod, that's game over. The Shutterwalk winning the brawl means he'll be able to deal 12 damage. Red Knight will be able to deal 12 damage.
I thought once we saw none of the Shutterwalks get bounced that the Shaman was absolutely going to lose this game, but no. Some fortunate RNG on his side allows him to pull out the victory.
Yeah, very, very well done by Red Knight there. Pull out that victory. So that's going to be a win for the Shaman. Yeah. All right. That's gonna.
Why don't we go ahead and plug the Patreon there? Where can people go if they want to support the United Hearthstone League?
Yeah, so you can go to patreon.com/UnitedHearthstoneLeague if you would like to support the league. We are greatly appreciative of any donations. I'm going to let Tim take the rest of this break while I deal with some behind-the-scenes things.
I'm pretty sure that behind-the-scenes things involves a screaming child. No.
May or may not be true.
Yeah, we absolutely love what we do here at the United Hearthstone League. We got a bunch of content creators that are all involved here, bringing you tons of matches, most of them casted every single week. So if you can go ahead and jump over to patreon.com/UnitedHS League, become a patron. You don't be a Patreon over at Patreon. You're a patron. Everyone get in here. And, with that, why don't we go ahead and move to the next game?
All right, I am ready for the next game, so let's go ahead and let the players know.
One moment.
We can see it is a odd warrior versus a Shutterwalk.
So let's see what decks they have left here. Despite a bunch of back and forth. Oh man, Discord does not like me tonight, does it?
No, it does not.
I don't have any internet connection problems. It's just Discord being finicky.
Which is weird. Normally Discord's great. So, all right. Rod Johnson is going to stick to that odd warrior, and it looks like we've got a Quest Rogue from Red Knight. And Quest Rogue has drawn its two absolute best cards in this matchup. First of all, being the Quest. I'm being a little facetious there. But the second being Sonya Shadow Dancer. This card allows you to complete the quest with any charger. There's 4 chargers in the deck. He's definitely going to draw one of those by turn 5 or 6.
Oh yeah, it's looking really good for Red Knight here.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that Ron Johnston's got that odd warrior running into 2 really bad matchups.
Yeah, and we were talking to both of the players before this match, and they were both worried that the other player would totally counter their lineup. And, well, it looks like Rod Johnston was right to be worried. This Quest Rogue is absolute bonkers against any odd warrior, and it's also extremely good against any control decks. So if Rod Johnston's other 2 decks are similar to this warrior, don't see it working out too well for him.
He kind of whiffed on that Vanish draw. He's got both in hand, and he probably won't need either of them until a little bit later.
Yeah, the Vanish draw is a whiff, but you've already got a charger in Sonya. You just need to get enough mana to play him, so I don't think he's worried about anything like that.
He's got time. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to see it technical, he probably would have preferred to see like a Novice Engineer.
Oh yeah,
Keep cycling through his deck.
Of course. Cycling through his deck is absolutely worth it. We're going to see a Direhorn Hatchling come out from Rod here. I absolutely like that play. It allows him to next turn Faceless Manipulator, the Direhorn Hatchling, and that's really the most damage he's going to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you don't want to Face Master a Frozen one, though, so we'll see about that.
Yeah, a little bit interesting play there from Red Knight. I was kind of expecting to see him to drop that Stone Tusk more and maybe Zola that so he can get his quest off a turn earlier. But Shadow Step's going to help that out a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to be able to play Sonya, 3 boars, and then Shadow Step the Sonya this turn, and that's and then we might see the concession from Rod Johnson right after that. He doesn't have Warrior itself just doesn't have a way to clear multiple boards, so or multiple boars.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to freeze you on that one.
Yeah, all right, Tim, go ahead and talk through Red Knight's turn here. It's very interesting choices.
Yeah, I'm really not sure why he went for that line of play. Usually you want to, get that crystal core, that quest reward as soon as possible in matchups because you want to just generate your 5/5s because that is your only win condition in this deck. But he keeps bouncing that Glacial Shard with Sonya and Stone Tusk Boar in hand. So he's playing the control in this matchup, which is really confusing considering he's the aggro player here. The beatdown, not aggro. Beatdown is the proper term there. I'm not going to let you get me on that.
You were very, very close to letting me get you.
All right. Well, he's more than enough here in order to go off and complete that quest. He won't be able to cast it this turn, but he's got actually. Well, he could Glacial Shard, prep Vanish, play it again. So he would complete the quest, or he could do it with Sonya, Boar, or Deckhand. But I don't see any way for him to complete the quest and cast it on this turn.
Yeah. I like just playing Sonya and smashing the boar in a bunch. But or yeah, deckhand works too. Deckhand actually allows you to kill the boar. So that's pretty great.
Yeah, it also makes a lot of sense.
Kill the hatchling, the direhorn hatchling. I'm just focused on this stone tusk boar. That
yeah. I'm incredibly surprised we didn't see it come down earlier.
Yeah, but you know, this matchup is so good for the quest rogue that you can make what the casters think might be a suboptimal play, and still, it looks like he's going. To me, it looks like he's going to win this game very easily.
Yeah, absolutely. This matchup is just that one-sided.
Yeah, and Rod Johnston drawing basically the best card in his deck at this moment. He's going to be playing that Rush to get rid of the Sonya Shadow Dancer, and he's going to play the 6/9 to deal with a bunch of 5/5 minions, and it's going to deal with 2 of them. And then Rod Johnston's probably going to lose to the 3rd, 4th, the 5th, and 6th ones.
Yeah, it might be a little bit unfortunate for Red Knight here. He has, oh, well, he picked up the Novice Engineer. I was going to say, with no cycle in hand, he only has actually 3 minions, and 2 of them would die to that Direhorn Matriarch. Oh, he's got the Rogue Death Knight. Red Knight looks to be in much better shape than he was before the start of that turn.
Yeah, that's for sure. He does not, because he used his Zola earlier in this game, he does not have the infinite Zola combination. Now that one works through the Valera Death Knight giving you a copy of the card that you play. So you play Zonya, get a copy of, play Zola, get a copy of Gorgonzola, get a copy of Gorgonzola in your hand, so you have one to play next turn as well. And then you can get infinite Zola the Gorgons that way.
Yeah, I played a game where I was Quest Rogue and I got maybe like 7 of them on board and I had like 8 in hand. I ended up losing that game because I didn't find any of my charge minions, but it was a lot of fun to know I could just play a bunch of 3-mana 5/5s every single turn.
Yeah, and if you look at that from Rod Johnston, he's doing very, very well with the taunts that he's getting. Unfortunately, with a hand size of 8, Red Knight could cast Prep Vanish and destroy the Stonehill Defender and the Gem-Studded Golem, and that's what it looks like he's going to do. That'll allow him then to cast 4 Chargers, deal 20 damage this turn. He can Shadow Step one of the Chargers and deal 25. Yeah, I foresee him playing 4 of the Chargers. What do you think?
You know, yeah, he could. I actually like him only playing 2 of them here. He needs to pace this damage out over a couple more turns. But unfortunately for Red Knight, he actually, Rod Johnston actually has the Gluttonous Ooze in hand, so he can get rid of this weapon. That means South Sea deckhands will no longer be charging for the remainder of the game, as he doesn't have any way to generate a weapon.
Yeah, I think that I think that Rod Johnston didn't make that play because since he's already seen the first South Sea, it's not extremely likely. Red Knight's only 14 cards through his deck. It's not extremely likely that he has the second, and he just wants to make the tempo plays as soon as he can. However, he did end up armoring up, and I do think that was a mistake. He surrenders a lot of tempo with leaving that basically 4 mana floating for just gaining 4 armor. I think getting some of these cards in his hand out of here would be way better.
Yeah, absolutely. And Red Knight sacrifices his dagger on his own. He agreed that he won't really be needing it. There's 1 South Sea Captain left in the deck. Playing now that he has the Rogue Death Knight in play with the passive Death Shadow there, he can just keep dropping Stone Tusk Boars and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. We're gonna see a brawl from Rod Johnston on this next turn. He really doesn't have another choice, and especially since he's got that taunt follow up. But, oh, is he going to try and win this brawl? No, okay.
Now he's just going to choose to eat 2 of the minions with his own minion. But I think it made a lot more sense to brawl 2 of them away and then drop that taunt. What do you think?
Yeah, because Red Knight's never going to have more than these 3 minions in play. Maybe on this turn he'll have 4 minions in play, so you get slightly more value from the brawl. But as we see here, Rod is actually just dead. So it was a little greedy of a play. I think it could have worked out, but it was definitely greedy.
Yeah.
But I mean, we knew how many. We knew there was another boar in hand, but he did not. And sometimes in a bad matchup, you just have to play greedy. You know, you have to take those risks. That's basically what greed is taking a risk. So, mad props for playing to his outs there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Quest Rogue is just so tough of a matchup that I don't even know if that risk would have helped if it did pay off.
Right. All right. So that's going to be that second win for Red Knight. And I have his decks wrong on the overlay, so I will correct that while Tim brings us into the next game.
Actually, before we do that, why don't we go ahead and chat for a moment about what matches you can see for the rest of the week. Let me pull up the website, the calendar here. I accidentally closed all the windows earlier. One up at UnitedHearthstoneLeague.com. You can see the schedule. We've got all the players remaining for the week. Later on tonight, 9:30 p.m., we got Spivey versus Ridiculous Hat. At 11 p.m., we got ML Streams versus Nate Wolf. So we're bringing a lot of matches tonight. Tomorrow night, Friday, May 18th at 10 p.m., we got Versica versus CM Lamer. I believe he goes by Chris. And then we got I see 2 matches on here. Either 11:30 p.m. on Friday, Lore Mastery versus Ziggy, or that's going to be Saturday at 12:30 a.m. Not sure which one of those is correct, so you know what? Show up both times.
It's going to be 11:30 Central there, so.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. All right. I have corrected the overlay. My apologies to all the viewers for my unprofessionalism, but I've corrected it, and we have the classes displayed correctly. Those are the right decks. Red Knight was bringing Rogue instead of Mage. We're going to see in this third game, we're going to see Red Knight on his Hunter. And I'm interested in what Rod Johnston thinks does best against this Hunter.
Let the games begin.
So we saw Flame Strike, so this is definitely going to be a control mage, and we see traps and spellstones, so this is going to be a spell hunter. What do you think about this matchup?
I think Rod Johnston's really excited to see that Harrison Jones in his hand, first of all. But this is probably going to come down to Spellstones and Death Knights. Both players want to drop their Death Knights on cards, start generating those water elementals or those zombies. Outside of that, the Hunter is going to try to apply a lot of pressure with those Spellstones and his weapons and hero powers, because unfortunately, Mage does not have Ice Block. So when Hunters apply pressure, it's a lot more effective than it used to be.
Yeah, Freezing Trap on the Raven Familiar. That's Rod Johnston loves to see that.
Yeah, that's there's not a lot of really good targets for that Freezing Trap, but he's just trying to get it out there to pump up the Spellstone, and he's gonna top deck that Wandering Monster. That's a really powerful top deck.
Yeah. When do you think we're going to see this Doomsayer out of Rod Johnston?
I'm not sure. I would have liked to see it this turn, but Spell Hunter is not a deck that I have a ton of experience against. Most of the time, I just ignore them, just let them drop their secrets and do nothing until I can win the game. Oh, but there's the Death Knight.
Yeah, the Death Knight from Honor means I think he's going to be favored until until Rod Johnston draws his Death Knight and changes my mind, I definitely see Red Knight being favored here.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that play to kill the 2/2 and play a 3/3 because, what's better than 1/3/3? How about 4 3/3s? And Rod Johnston would specifically need a Dragon's Fury in order to answer it. And this is the point in the game where he would be least likely to have it.
Exactly. Turn 5 is the turn where you're least likely to have a Dragon's Fury. That's for sure. And also, you saw the Flame Strike off of the second time he played Raven's Familiar. So that also to me means that I want to play my Spellstone as soon as possible. So, yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I completely disagree with Red Knight's line of play the last couple turns. He's got 2 very powerful plays here. Obviously, he didn't want to play the Spellstone into the Doomsayer, but developing the Death Knight would allow him to pump out these crazy zombies threats, a turn earlier.
Yeah.
He's not going to win this game by not playing his threats.
Yeah, and he can wipe the board with the Hunter's Mark and Death Knight. I think that's the right play here. There's not very many threats in Control Mage, so there aren't very many creatures that you're gonna want to hit with Hunter's Mark, and you want to get that Death Knight active as soon as possible. So, yeah,
totally agree. That Death Knight needed to come down. If not the previous turn, why not this turn?
Yeah, I could have seen it the Spellstone this turn, but next time we'll get the